tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, because we'll show you how to get more bang for your buck by simply driving around town. AutowrapsCNN.WMV takes advertising off billboards and onto your cars. Plus, pain at the pump. Gas prices are at an all-time high. So is there any relief in sight? So park your cars and put on your walking shoes. Entrepreneurs Only starts now. Welcome to Entrepreneurs Only. I'm Mary Kathleen Flynn, in for Tony Guida. Later in the broadcast, you need new clients to boost your sales. We'll tell you how to fine-tune your sales pitch. But first, we begin with the concept of turning a negative experience into a success. Every day, millions of Americans find themselves stuck in traffic and use they use the time to mutter to themselves or to anyone else who will listen. But one entrepreneur who remembered the old adage, time is money, came up with a business idea, putting together cars, driving, and ad space. Now he has more business than he ever dreamed possible. Gayla Hope explains how it works.
How would you like to make money driving your car around town just following your daily routine? That's just what these drivers are doing.
I actually had another little part-time job, which I was able to quit and spend more time with my kids because I'm doing this now, so I'm completely delighted.
I thought it was a really fun way to make some extra money and pay off my credit cards.
What material is going to come in right?
Dan Shifrin's company, AutowrapsCNN.WMV, is transforming cars into vinyl-wrapped billboards. The first cars hit the streets in February, and he now has nearly 200 wrapped cars on the road. He calls it a win-win-win situation.
There's three parties involved. One is the driver, which is the consumer. They're getting anywhere between $200 and $400 a month to let us put this advertising on their car. The other party is the advertiser. They're making money because they're getting a very inexpensive form of advertising that is extremely effective. And then, of course, AutoWraps picks up $1 or $2 here or there.
AutoWraps is picking up an average of about $250,000 a month, and that's on the rise. Advertisers pay Shifrin $1,000 to $2,000 per car. That's cheap compared to billboards.
For one billboard on the 101, you can get 30 cars for that amount of money.
Volkswagen Bugs and SUVs are favorites of advertisers. One's cute and the others are big. But all cars are considered depending on the miles driven or the routes taken every day. Advertisers are targeting particular demographics. AutoWraps' list of more than 20 advertisers is expanding daily.
Just today, we had, we got a call from Web TV, Microsoft Web TV, that they are going to be doing a program with us. We're actually launching with Kraft California Pizza Kitchen in the near future.
Two new companies recently signed for 180 cars each, and Dreyer's Ice Cream just re-signed for next year.
As we look about traditional media, you're finding a greater need to use more and more untraditional ways to reach so many consumers as their lifestyles change.
For some extra attention, cars with the same ads drive through town in tandem like these two, cruising a crowded Fisherman's Wharf. Most prospective clients hear about AutoWraps through the internet, and the company's website is filling up with anxious wrappees.
At any given moment, I can probably have between 3,500 and 4,000 unread emails.
Shifrin came up with the idea while sitting in a traffic jam. He noticed that in a sea of cars, bits of color drew his attention, and he saw a sign on a truck.
I said, wait a second, these people for years have been using cars to advertise on in vehicles, and we don't even realize it. We don't even understand what's going on there. Subtly, subliminally, they're advertising to us. I actually went home that evening, opened up the phone book, and started calling people randomly to find out who would be interested in advertising on their car and how much I would have to pay them.
5 people out of 20 said that they would let Shifrin put advertising on their car for some fast cash. Shifrin quit his job as a financial recruiter and started his own business.
I didn't even know the name of my company. I was like, this is Dan. Would you wrap your car with an advertisement? I didn't even know what the material we were going to use at that time.
It turned out to be a 3M vinyl already being used for wrapping city buses, a temporary material that does not damage the paint. Shifrin says the vinyl actually protects it. That is, of course, unless you back into something.
There's a tiny spot in the back that got a little ding on it. I was in a tiny parking spot, and I was trying to get out.
All Auto Wraps cars are inspected once a month for condition, and the odometer is checked for mileage. Shifrin's business is rolling and profitable, but he may have had a little help in the genealogy department.
My father started a business in 1973 in the financial printing industry, which is where the production, printing, and distribution of prospectuses for the markets, for the stock exchange. And he built a global company in 20, 30 years. And also my grandfather, the same thing.
And his mother started her own successful antique silver gallery.
So it kind of seems to run in my family.
How does Shifrin describe being an entrepreneur?
It's, like looking over a cliff every day. A little feeling of vertigo sometimes. But it's great. It's also extremely exhilarating. The rewards that I'm getting, the attention I get, which is something that I think all entrepreneurs maybe kind of seek, has been great. Getting an idea and seeing it come to reality is amazing. I drive around, sometimes I'll see one of my wrap cars, and it just makes my day.
Shifrin's wrap cars do outsell standard billboards in one way. The cars have talking representatives to give out information about advertisers and AutowRaps.com. Auto Wraps and advertisers are getting PR, and the drivers are getting something they enjoy.
Besides the financial benefit, it's a little bit of recognition. It's something different. It adds a little excitement to one's day.
The biggest challenge so far is getting cars wrapped fast enough to keep up with demand. Shifrin says the waiting list has topped more than 20,000. For Entrepreneurs Only, Gayla Hope, CNN Financial News, San Francisco.